Hello children, how are you all? I know that you all are doing fine, sunshine like at home. So, let's see what's the lesson I have for you today. It's very interesting lesson. I hope that you all can enjoy that lesson. Yes, as you can see on the screen, it's based on grammar. It's a grammar lesson. I'm going to do a grammar lesson for you today. Passive voice, past tense and passive voice, future tense, because we need passive voice very much when we write something and also when we speak in English. So, first of all, let's look at what is active voice. As you can see on the screen, it tells us what a person or a thing does. The subject performs the action on the object. It tells us what a person or a thing does. The subject performs the action. The subject is doing the action on the object. So, the basic sentence structure is subject plus verb plus object. Subject is the doer who is doing the action, verb is the action and object is what the subject is doing. The subject is doing what? So, subject plus verb plus object is the main structure. So, there are some examples for you to have a better idea about active voice. I am going to read all the sentences for you. He draws beautiful pictures for his exhibition. She composed a song for her husband. The squirrel climbs the tree fast. He draws beautiful pictures for his exhibition. So, he is the subject, draws is the verb, beautiful pictures is the object. He draws beautiful pictures for his exhibition. Second sentence, she composed a song for her husband. She composed a song for her husband. She composed a song for her husband. She is the subject, composed is the verb, a song is the object. What did she compose? She composed a song for her husband. So, that means husband has a sweet wife, very loving wife. Third sentence, the squirrel climbs the tree fast. The squirrel climbs the tree fast. The squirrel is the subject, climbs is the verb, the tree is the object. The squirrel climbs the tree fast. So, active voice is about, it tells us about what a person or a thing does. So, the basic structure is subject plus verb plus object. Now, let us see what is passive voice. It tells us what is done to someone or something. It tells us what is done to someone or something. The subject is being acted upon. The subject is being acted upon. The basic structure is object plus verb plus subject. Object plus verb plus subject. So, there are some examples for you. The house was painted by Anil. The trip has been organized by the school. Mathematics is taught by Mrs. Pereira. The house was painted by Anil. The house is the object, was painted is the verb. Anil is the subject. The house was painted by Anil. The house was painted by Anil. The trip has been organized by the school. The trip has been organized by the school. So, the trip is the object, has been organized is the verb, and the school is the subject. Let us look at the third sentence. Mathematics is taught by Mrs. Pereira. Mathematics is taught by Mrs. Pereira. Mathematics is the object, is taught is the verb, Mrs. Pereira is the subject. So, passive voice is about what is done to someone or something. The subject is being acted upon. Now, I think now you have got a clear idea about what is active voice and what is passive voice. So, when it comes to active voice and passive voice, there are three main differences that you have to be familiar with. You need to have a broader understanding about what are those main differences. There are three main differences between active voice and passive voice. As I have shown on the screen, there are three main differences between active voice, or we call it subject headed, and passive voice, object headed. So, let us see what are the differences between active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the main point is the subject, but in passive voice, the main point is the object. In active voice, the main point is the subject, but in the passive voice, the main point is the object. In active voice, we can use any form of verb. In active voice, we can use any form of verb. But in passive voice, we can use only past participle. In passive voice, we can use only past participle. In active voice, time is decided by the verb. But in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. So, those are the three main differences between active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the main point is the subject, but in passive voice, the main point is the object. In active voice, we can use any form of verb, but in passive voice, we can use only past participle. In active voice, time is decided by the verb, but in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. So, if you have a clear understanding about these three main differences between active voice and passive voice, it is very easy for you to do anything using active voice and passive voice, even when you talk in English or even when you write something in English. Right. Now, let us look at these three differences in detail. In active voice, the main point is the subject, but in passive voice, the main point is the object. So, there are some examples for you. I am going to read those sentences for you. First one, they ride bicycles every day. That is active voice. Second sentence, bicycles are ridden every day by them. That is passive voice. They ride bicycles every day. Bicycles are ridden every day by them. So, you can see in active voice the main point is the subject. So, in this active voice sentence, they is there, the subject, that is the main point. But in the passive voice sentence, bicycles, the object is the main point. Let us look at the second example. We saw an attractive peacock in the sanctuary, that is active voice. An attractive peacock was seen in the sanctuary by us, that is passive voice. We is the subject in the active voice sentence, we saw an attractive peacock in the sanctuary. In the second sentence, an attractive peacock, that is the object. So, in passive voice, the main point is the object. An attractive peacock was seen in the sanctuary by us. Let us look at the second difference. In active voice, we can use any form of verb. In active voice, we can use any form of verb. But in passive voice, we can use only past participle. Let us look at the examples. First one, I write a novel these days. That is present tense. You have write there. The verb write means that is the present tense. I write a novel these days. I wrote a letter to my father yesterday. That is past tense. I am writing an essay now. That is present continuous tense. Fourth sentence, I have already written a message to my teacher. That is present perfect. Write, wrote, am writing, have or written. So, you can see in active voice we can use any form of verb. We can use any form of verb. But in passive voice we can use only past participle. In passive voice we can use only past participle. There are some examples for you. I am going to read them. A novel is written these days by me. A novel is written these days by me. Chickens are fed daily by us. Chickens are fed daily by us. The exhibition was organized by the grade 9 students. The exhibition was organized by the grade 9 students. Fourth example, the painting has been done by Jude Fernando. A novel is written, that is the past participle form of write. Write, wrote, written. So, that is the past participle verb form of write, written. Chickens are fed daily by us. Feed, fed, fed. Chickens are fed daily by us. The exhibition was organized. Organized. The exhibition was organized by the grade 9 students. The painting has been done by Jude Fernando. So, written, fed, organized, done are past participle verb forms. So, in passive voice we can use only past participle. In passive voice we can use only past participle. Let us look at the third difference. In active voice, time is decided by the verb. In active voice, time is decided by the verb. But in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. In active voice, time is decided by the verb, but in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. He drinks coffee often. He drinks coffee often. That is present tense. They played volleyball in the playground today. They played volleyball in the playground today. That is past tense. My father will go to Colombo tomorrow. My father will go to Colombo tomorrow. That is future tense. The children are singing a song in the school now. The children are singing a song in the school now. That is present continuous tense. Our teacher has finished the lesson for today. Our teacher has finished the lesson for today. That is present perfect. So, you can see in active voice time is decided by the verb, but in passive voice. In active voice, the time is decided by the verb, but in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. So, there are some examples for you. I am going to read them. Cakes are decorated by my mother. Cakes are decorated by my mother. That is passive voice present tense, because the helping verb are is used there. Cakes are decorated by my mother. Passive voice present tense. The car was driven by my brother Kevin. The car was driven by my brother Kevin. That is passive voice past tense, because the helping verb was is used there. The car was driven by my brother Kevin. That is passive voice past tense. He will be given a present for his birthday by us. He will be given a present for his birthday by us. Since will be there, it is passive voice future tense. So, in passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb are, was and will be. Right. Now, let us look at how can we form past participle verbs. So, there are some examples for you: present, past and past participle. Play, played, played. Finish, finished, finished. Grow, grew, grown. Drink, drank, drunk. Set, set, set. Hurt, hurt, hurt. Play, played, played. And finish, finished, finished. So, normally to make past tense, we add ed at the end of the verb stem. That is the regular formation of past tense or the past participle. Play, played, played. Ed is added at the end. Finish, finished, finished. Ed is added at the end to make the past verb form as well as the past participle verb form. Grow, grew, grown. And drink, drank, drunk. That is irregular verb formation. You have to learn them very well. There are so many verbs like that. Grow, grew, grown. Drink, drank, drunk. Then the third one, third set. Set, set, set. Hurt, hurt, hurt. So, you can see in the present tense, in the past tense as well as in the past participle verb formation, you can see the same verb. Set, set, set. Hurt, hurt, hurt. So, depending on the context in which those verbs are used, you can understand whether it is present tense or the past tense or past participle verb formation. So, that is how you can form past participle verbs. So, these are just few examples for you. If you want to understand all these verb formations very well, what you have to do, keep on reading in English. Listen to English songs, then you can develop your capabilities in understanding these verb formations. Now, let us look at what is passive voice present tense. First one, she reads books daily as a hobby. She reads books daily as a hobby. So, how can we turn that into passive voice? We take the object books. Since it is plural, we use are, the helping verb are. Then the verb read, it is not read, read. Books are read. Even if the spellings are same, we pronounce it as read. That is an exception in the English language. Books are read daily as a hobby by her. Second example, the butterfly sucks nectar from the flower. the butterfly sucks nectar from the flower. Nectar is sucked from the flower by the butterfly. So, we take the object nectar. Since it is singular, we use is helping verb. Nectar is sucked. So, the past participle verb formation of suck is sucked, ed. You have to add ed at the end of the verb. Nectar is sucked from the flower by the butterfly. Third example, he teaches me English every day. So, in that sentence, there are two objects, direct object and indirect object. He teaches me English every day. He teaches English to me every day. So, if we take me as the object, when we turn that sentence into passive, it becomes I. I am taught English. I am taught English every day by him. If we take English, English is taught every day to me by him. So, English is the direct object and me is the indirect object. So, when you turn that sentence into passive, you can either take me or English to turn that into passive sentence. He teaches me English every day. I am taught English every day by him. English is taught every day to me by him. So, in passive voice present tense, am, is, are the helping verbs used in the passive voice present tense. Am, is, are the helping verbs used in the passive voice present tense. So, we use am helping verb with I, with only I. Is used with singular subjects. Is used with singular subjects. There are some examples: he, she, it, Nimal and the boy. Are, we use are helping verb with plural subjects: they, we, you or the girls. So, in passive voice present tense, we have three helping verbs: am only with I, is with singular subjects, are with plural subjects. And there is another thing that you have to remember when you do something using passive voice. So, there is subject pronoun. When we use those subjects pronouns in passive voice, they become object pronouns. I becomes me, we becomes us, you as the singular subject or as the plural subject, it becomes you, you, you. They, them, he, him, she, her, it, I, me, we, us, you, they, them, he, him, she, her, it. Now, you have a little activity to do. You have to turn these sentences into passive voice. Since you have got a better idea about passive voice present tense, I know very easily you can do this activity. I am going to read the sentences for you. He opens the iron door. He opens the iron door. We set the dining table. We set the dining table. Third one, she pays the bills. She pays the bills. Fourth sentence, I draw an attractive picture. I draw an attractive picture. They wear colorful blue shoes. They wear colorful blue shoes. He opens the iron door. We set the dining table. She pays the bills. I draw an attractive picture. They wear colorful blue shoes. Now, you have to turn these sentences into passive voice. I know you all can do this very easily. These are the answers. So, check with what you have written. The iron door is open. Since the iron door is singular, we use is helping verb there. The iron door is opened by him. The iron door is the object, is there, helping verb, and open, main verb, is opened by him. The iron door is opened by him. The dining table is set by us. Set, set, set. So, set is the past participle verb form of the present tense verb form set. The dining table is set by us. The bills are paid by her. Pay, paid. The bills are paid. Since the bills are plural, are is used. The bills are paid by her. An attractive picture is drawn. Draw, drew, drawn. An attractive picture is drawn by me. Colorful blue shoes are. Colorful blue shoes are worn by them. Where, wore, worn. Colorful blue shoes are worn by them. So, the iron door is open. The iron door is singular. So, you are using is opened. The iron door is opened by him. The dining table is set. Since the dining table is singular, you use is. The dining table is set by us. The bills are paid by her. Since the bills are plural, the bills are paid. Pay, paid by her. An attractive picture is drawn. Since the picture is singular, an attractive picture, it's singular. So, you use is there. An attractive picture is drawn by me. Colorful blue shoes are worn by them. Because the shoes are plural, then you have to use are there, are worn. Colorful blue shoes are worn by them. Right. There is another activity, but here you have negative sentences and also you have some questions. You have to turn these sentences or questions into passive. They don't help you. They don't help you. He doesn't open the book. He doesn't open the book. You do not write the letter. You do not write the letter. Does your mom pick you up? Does your mom pick you up? There's a question. Does the police officer catch the thief? Does the police officer catch the thief? There's a question. She does not do any homework these days. She does not do any homework these days. So, you have to turn these sentences, active voice sentences into passive voice. You have to turn these active voice sentences into passive voice present tense. These are the answers. They don't help you. So, you take you at the beginning. You are not helped by them. They don't help you. When you turn that into passive voice, you are not helped by them. They becomes them. Second sentence, he doesn't open the book. He doesn't open the book. The book is not opened by him. The book is not opened by him. Third sentence, you do not write the letter. So, you take the letter. The letter is not written. Write, wrote, written. The letter is not written by you. You are not helped by them. The book is not opened by him. The letter is not written by you. Fourth one. Does your mom pick you up? How can you turn that into passive voice? Are you picked up by your mom? The helping verb goes to the front of the question. Are you picked up by your mom? Are you picked up by your mom? Next one. Does the police officer catch the thief? Does the police officer catch the thief? Is the thief caught by the police officer? Is the thief caught by the police officer? Next one. She does not do any homework these days. She does not do any homework these days. She is a bad student. Any homework is not done. Do, did, done. Any homework is not done these days by her. Are you picked up by your mom? Is the thief caught by the police officer? Oh, any homework is not done these days by her. Right. Now let's look at passive voice past tense. So as you can see on the screen, I wrote a letter yesterday. I subject is there, wrote the verb is there, a letter the object is there, and yesterday. A letter was written yesterday by me. Only the helping verb has been changed there. A letter was written. A letter was written yesterday by me. Write, wrote, written. So we take the past participle form of the verb write. So a letter was written yesterday by me. Let's look at the second sentence, second example. She ate a bun for breakfast. She ate a bun for breakfast. A bun was eaten for breakfast by her. A bun was eaten for breakfast by her. Since the bun, a bun is singular, you have to use was there. The helping verb use is used there. A bun was eaten. Eat, ate, eaten. A bun was eaten for breakfast by her. Let's look at the third example. They bought vegetables 2 days ago. They bought vegetables 2 days ago. Vegetables, plural object. So, vegetables were bought 2 days ago by them. Vegetables were bought 2 days ago by them. Next example. He read or read. He read. In the past tense we use he read. He read 2 novels today. 2 novels were read. 2 novels were read today by him. He read 2 novels today. 2 novels were read today by him. So, the two helping verbs was and were are used in passive voice past tense. So, there are only two helping verbs was and were. They are used in passive voice past tense. So, was is used with singular subjects like I, he, she and it. Was is used with singular subjects I, he, she, it. Were is used with plural subjects we, you, they, the children. So, the two helping verbs was and were are used in passive voice past tense because time is decided by the helping verb in the passive voice. So, was and were are used in passive voice past tense. So, there is an activity. There are some sentences for you. You have to turn these sentences into passive voice past tense. I am going to read all these sentences for you. She gave me a pen yesterday. He drove a car last week. The child read a magazine happily. He sank the ship. They sang a beautiful song. The thief stole a hen from the farmer. He won the competition. Mother wrote an article to the newspaper. Father read a newspaper in the morning. The children played violins in the music room. So, you have to turn these sentences into passive voice. You have to turn these active voice sentences into passive voice past tense. Can you do that? Yes, I know. You can do that very easily. You all are very clever. So, these are the answers. Let's look at the answers. She gave me a pen yesterday. There also you have two objects, direct object and indirect object. She gave a pen to me. A pen is the direct object, me is the indirect object. A pen was given to me yesterday by her. Or you can say, I was given a pen yesterday by her. A pen was given to me yesterday by her. I was given a pen yesterday by her. Second answer, he drove a car last week. A car was driven. Since the car is singular, we use was there. A car was driven. Drive, drove, driven. A car was driven last week by him. The child read a magazine happily. A magazine was read happily by the child. He sank the ship. The ship was sunk by him. A pen was given to me yesterday by her. I was given a pen yesterday by her. A car was driven last week by him. A magazine was read happily by the child. The ship was sunk by him. They sang a beautiful song. A beautiful song was sung by them. A beautiful song was sung by them. Next one. The thief stole a hen from the farmer. The thief stole a hen from the farmer. A hen was stolen from the farmer by the thief. Next one. He won the competition. He won the competition. The competition was won by him. A beautiful song was sung by them. A hen was stolen from the farmer by the thief. The competition was won by him. Mother wrote an article to the newspaper. An article was written to the newspaper by mother. Father read a newspaper in the morning. A newspaper was read. A newspaper was read in the morning by father. The children played violins in the music room. Violins were played. Since the violins is the plural subject, violins were played in the music room by the children. An article was written to the newspaper by mother. A newspaper was read in the morning by father. Violins were played in the music room by the children. Right. Now, let us look at passive voice future tense. So, the first example is, he will help me in my studies. So, he is the subject, will is the helping verb, and help is the main verb, and me is the object. So, you have to take the object first to make it passive voice future tense. So, me becomes I. With I, we use the helping verb shall. I shall be helped. I shall be helped in my studies by him. He will help me in my studies. I shall be helped in my studies by him. Will and shall are the future denoting helping verbs. So, with I, we have to use shall. I shall be helped in my studies by him. Second example. She will call us tomorrow. She is the subject, will is the helping verb, call is the main verb, us is the object. She will call us tomorrow. Then when we take us to the front of the sentence, it becomes we. We shall be. So, with I and we use shall. We shall be called tomorrow by her. We shall be called tomorrow by her. Third example, they will write my article next week. They will write my article next week. They is the subject, will is the helping verb, write is the main verb, and my article is the object. My article will be written, write, wrote, written. My article will be written next week by them. They becomes them. My article will be written next week by them. Fourth example, we shall play our game tomorrow. We shall play our game tomorrow. Our game will be played tomorrow by us. Our game will be played tomorrow by us. Two future denoting helping verbs, will and shall, are used in passive voice future tense. We use will with any subject, but we use shall with only I and we. I shall, we shall. With any other subject, we can use will helping verb. So, there are some examples for you to have a better idea about how to use shall and will future denoting helping verbs. I am going to read those sentences for you. I shall be helped in my studies by him. I shall be helped in my studies by him. We shall be called tomorrow by her. We shall be called tomorrow by her. My article will be written next week by them. I shall be helped in my studies by him. We shall be called tomorrow by her. My article will be written next week by them. I hope that now you have a better idea about how to use passive voice future tense very well. So, there is an activity for you to check what you have learnt today. He will sell the car to his friend. She will save us from the shark now. I shall blame them for their fault. We shall draw a nice painting on the floor. We shall spread the news around the country. We shall give him a present for his birthday. They will hug me lovingly tomorrow. They will build a dam next year. We shall enjoy the picnic thoroughly next week. She will teach an interesting lesson today. So, you have to turn these active voice sentences into passive voice future tense sentences. These are the answers. He will sell the car to his friend. The car, that is the object, the car will be sold, sell, sold. The car will be sold to his friend by him. She will save us from the shark now. We, us becomes we there, we shall be, we shall. You remember that with I and we use shall helping verb. We shall be saved from the shark now by her. I shall blame them for their fault. I shall blame them for their fault. They will be blamed. Them becomes they. They will be blamed for their fault by me. We shall draw a nice painting on the floor. A nice painting will be drawn on the floor by us. We shall spread the news around the country. The news will be spread around the country by us. Spread, spread, spread. The news will be spread around the country by us. We shall give him a present for his birthday. There are two objects. If we take him, he will be given. Him becomes he. He will be given a present for his birthday by us. If we take a present will be given to him for his birthday by us. They will hug me lovingly tomorrow. Me becomes I there. I will be hugged lovingly tomorrow by them. I will be hugged lovingly tomorrow by them. Next sentence. They will build a dam next year. A dam will be built next year by them. We shall enjoy the picnic thoroughly next week. We shall enjoy the picnic thoroughly next week. The picnic will be enjoyed thoroughly to the fullest next week by us. She will teach an interesting lesson today. An interesting lesson will be taught. Teach, taught. An interesting lesson will be taught today by her. So, sometimes when you travel along the road, or maybe when you travel by buses or trains, you can see some headlines like this. Smoking is prohibited inside the bus. The seat is reserved for pregnant women. Bathing is not allowed in this area. Maybe when you go for a swim in a river, it is said bathing is not allowed in this area. Maybe the river is so deep, so you can't bathe there. Bathing is not allowed in this area. Sometimes in some places it is mentioned like this. Your silence in the room is highly appreciated. That's a very polite request. Your silence in this room, your silence in the room is highly appreciated. That's a very polite request. You are not permitted to use mobile phones inside the premises. When you go to a factory, sometimes you can see a headline like this. You are not permitted to use mobile phones inside the premises. But there is something in these sentences. There is no doer. By whom, it is not mentioned. So, sometimes in the passive voice, when we use the passive voice, we do not need to mention the doer who is doing the action. When it said smoking is prohibited inside the bus, the message is conveyed very well without any problem. So, no need of mentioning a doer who is by whom. We do not need to mention the doer. The seat is reserved for pregnant women. Bathing is not allowed in this area. So, no need of mentioning a doer who is by whom. Your silence in the room is highly appreciated. You are not permitted to use mobile phones inside the premises. So, remember, in the passive voice sometimes you do not need to mention the doer who is doing the action. So, when it comes to newspaper headlines also, you can see something like that. A drug dealer was arrested yesterday near the Gampai station. Run Orbiter was flooded last month due to heavy rain. The New Year vacation of schools will be limited for 2 weeks this year. Grade 11 year-end term test is commenced on the 29th of March. So, there is no doer. By whom is not mentioned. A drug dealer was arrested. Run Orbiter was flooded. The New Year vacation of schools will be limited. Grade 11 year-end term test is commenced. So, in newspaper headlines also, you can't find a doer. Now, you have an activity. Fill in the blanks using suitable passive voice verb forms. A fire has burnt down a building in Ratnapura today. Although no one was in the building at the time of the fire, many of the shops inside the building, there is a blank, within brackets you have damage, and the building needs to be reconstructed. The fire blank, within brackets you have investigate by the police, and they believe it, you have a blank, within brackets you have start as a joke by a group of children residing near to the building. So, let us look at the answers. Were damaged. Many of the shops inside the building were damaged. The fire is investigated. the fire is investigated. It was started. They believe it was started as a joke by a group of children residing near to the building. So, were damaged, that is passive voice past tense, were damaged, something happened. Is investigated. At the present context, still the fire is investigated. And was started, passive voice past tense. Another activity for you. So, there are also some blanks. You have to fill in those blanks using the given verbs. The Academy Awards blank give out every year to recognize outstanding work of movie actors, directors and others who are part of the movie making industry. These awards, called Oscars blank, present in a formal ceremony in Hollywood. Several people blank nominate in specific categories such as Best Movie, Best Actor, Best Music and Best Costumes. One nominee blank chose to receive an award in each category. Let's look at the answers. The Academy Awards are given. Academy Awards plural subjects and Academy Awards are given. These awards called Oscars are presented. Several people are nominated. Some people are nominated in specific categories. So, are given, are presented, are nominated. How about this one? When the awards ceremony started in 1929, 15 awards, you have blank and they were present, and the ceremony blank attend by only 250 people. Tickets cost $10 and anyone who could afford a ticket could attend. At present, tickets are no longer sold to the general public. Invitations blank, you have the verb send only to people involved in making the movies and to their guests. So, let us look at the answers. When the awards ceremony started in 1929, 15 awards were presented and the ceremony was attended by only 250 people, that is the past tense. So, you have to use were presented, was attended. Invitations are sent only to people involved in making the movies and to their guests. So, let us look at the summary, what we learned today. In passive voice, the main point is the object. We can use only past participle verb forms in the passive voice sentences. In passive voice, time is decided by the helping verb. Passive voice is used in newspaper headlines and also in public places to convey certain messages to the public. So, with this, I am going to wind up my lesson today, and I hope you enjoyed this grammar lesson with me, and definitely with another interesting lesson we will meet again. Till then, have a nice day.